Hey, what's up guys? This is your boy Travis back again here at Big Boy Toy Reviews. And today we are taking a look at model kits. So I don't usually do reviews of my model kits, but I thought this was a good one to do a review on because I was super excited to get this one. Not that I'm not super excited to get all my model kits, but this one looked really cool when I saw the promo pictures for it. So this is the Macross Delta VB-6 Konig Monster. So you can take that for what it is. Apparently it's from a company called Aoshima, I suppose, and it's part of their variable fighting girls line. So they don't give a specific name for this chick, but she's like a little cat chick. Nothing, I mean, it's a model kit, right? So we're not going to get a whole lot of detail. Like, I didn't do any shading, or she didn't have any. Well, one of her accessories does take stickers, but she comes with some blank faces. I'll show that later. But as you can see, she is quite busty. She is quite busty, but she does have a super cute face. Super duper cute face. You can see her little bow tie. Again, this is a model kit. There's nothing, not that much detail on this. All just plastic. But you can see kind of how she's put together. Now, there are some parts that I felt like I needed to super glue. The bottom of her feet, these pieces definitely needed to be super glued. I needed to super glue this forearm piece because it kept popping out. I'll probably end up needing to glue this one too. This little white piece here I glued. I didn't glue this one because this one wasn't popping off, but this whole arm was giving me issues. But take a look at the back here. She has her little cat tail. Details there on the back of her armor. But yeah, just a cute little cat girl. But really, I would say the star of the show is this guy right here. So this is a really cool transformer type of thing here. So it didn't come with a stand. You can use most generic stands, like I was using a Figma. This is a Kyoto Rebel Tech stand. But this thing is really cool, and it has some weight to it too. Like, it really has some decent weight to it. But she comes with, now this is it in, I think this is like jet mode. And also, I forgot to mention that I'll throw some pictures up here, or some video up here, some B-roll of the box, so you can see what the box looks like. The box is huge, and I couldn't figure out a way to actually get it in the shot. But this is the shuttle mode, and this is the mode that you build it in. So you build it like this first. But there is a lot going on. Now, I haven't put any other stickers or anything on there. Well, there's a few stickers that I did put on there, but you don't see them right now. But I'll show you those later when we go into the other modes. But yeah, this is very nicely done. Very nicely done. It has a lot going on. And you can see like the thrusters and stuff here in the back. And like I said, this has a little weight to it. You got these little bits here in the back. I want to be really careful because this one broke on me, and I had the arm broke on me, and I had to super glue it. So I need to be super careful how I move this one around. But this doubles as something else later on. You might be able to tell just by looking at it, but you might be able to tell what these are too just by looking at it. But yeah, it has like the transparent red window there. We got the red pops there on the thrusters. I like that. Little gold hits around. Then we got the bottom. It does have landing gear. This is the landing gear right here. So I guess we can go through the articulation for this thing. We'll do the girl here in a second too. So the landing gear is here. So you kind of just got to pull it out. And it comes with another separate piece, which typically sits in it, but I took it out. And you can pop this piece in, and you have your little landing gear here. So that is pretty cool. So it can just set like that, pretty flat to the surface. And then when you want to put it away, you can just kind of slide that back in there. Now, it's not the best. It's not put together the best. I did have some trouble with one of the wings here / feet. I thought that I had put this piece on backwards, but because this one was sitting more flush, now this one doesn't want to sit that flush, but these pieces come out for a reason. But I thought this one wasn't as flush, but I was able to get that. There is a little gappiness here, unfortunately. There's not a whole lot you can really do about that. So, but I do like the fact that everything snaps in, like nothing is loose. Now, I didn't know that before. The directions are terrible. They do not explain to you how, if they do, like I said, well, I didn't say this, but all the directions are in like Chinese or Japanese. So it's, you just kind of go out, you just kind of got to go based off the pictures on putting this thing together. And so it doesn't really give you a good idea of how this whole thing snaps together, because prior to this, me doing the video, all of this was just kind of sitting loose and just hanging. But I just, when I went back to start shooting this video and I just kind of started playing with this thing again, I noticed that there were some like hooks, like some clamps here and here. And then there were some that are hidden under here. And I was like, where do those snap onto? And then I saw these two little pieces. When I start transforming it, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I was like, do those slide on there? And sure enough, they did slide on there. So it held the wings together. And then this piece, there's this piece right here, this comes down. Eventually you can pull this out and it comes down. But these two pieces here, these two top pieces here, slide into that piece and keeps these connected and doesn't let those flop around, because these connect, but they kind of flop up and down. But this keeps it from flopping up and down. So once you figure that out, it is a very, very sturdy connection, very sturdy connection. And I couldn't find any real videos on this that weren't in like Japanese. And so I figured I would do a video in English for those people who might be trying to put this thing together. I am missing a flap here. I don't know where it fell off. I don't see it on the table. But these flaps do seem to fall off really easily. I do have an issue with that. Like these just flop. These just kind of unhook because they're just on there by some hooks. So they're just on there like with these little bitty hooks. And so this easily falls off. It's very loose. They don't really hold on there very well, and it's not a good look. Sorry about that, had a bit of a disaster there. But found the other piece, just hooks up, slaps on right there. But as you can see, it's kind of floppy. And sometimes it feels like it's gonna hold in there, but other times it doesn't. I avoided painting this prior to putting it together because of small parts having problems fitting into small holes when you paint it before you put it together. But I kind of wish that I did for these pieces. I mean, when it comes to, for me, my experience with model kits is I've done a straight build, I've done a painted build, I've done builds where I put the stickers on while I'm building it. It's all obviously the least pain in the ass thing is just doing a straight build, but it's all a pain in the ass in general. But it's kind of more or less just the joy of putting something together and getting to the end and having the finished product that you like. But I do wish that these would stay in there a little bit better. But these pieces move up and down. These pieces move up and down. This piece can move like that. I showed you the landing gear. That's really it. These wings can move up and down like so. We do have some flaps here. These actually should be out too. So, like so. So I should have those out in the shuttle mode. With those open and close. So yeah, that looks really, really good. These pieces move as well. These pieces move like so, back and forth on hinge. What else in this mode moves? I think that's mostly it, because the rest of the stuff that moves is for more or less for transformation mode. So let's go ahead and do a quick articulation run through on the figure too. So this chick, she can look up that high. She does have a ball joint in the neck as well, so she can look down side to side. It's really good, so you can get that head to move all around. Shoulders are on a hinge, so she can get way past parallel. Things are really tight on her too. That's another issue that I have with her. Although I guess I'd rather than be tight than loose, but too tight is a problem. She does have a bicep swivel, but it's so tight I can't use it, so it's swiveling there in the shoulder. But she does have a bicep swivel, a little bit over 90 on the elbow. See, now this piece is coming out, so I'm gonna end up having to super glue that. Ball hinge for the wrist. Then we have for the torso, the diaphragm, she can go back that far, forward that far. She does get side to side. She's gonna twist 360 degrees. She doesn't have any waist articulation, unfortunately, so you're not gonna get anything there. As far as the legs are concerned, she can only get her legs spread about that far. The thigh swivel on her is very, very tight, but it is there. I can get it to move. There we go. It's really tight. over 90 degrees there on the knee. And then as far as the ankle, it can go up that far, down really far, and then can you turn it for ankle rocker? Yes, you can. So I don't know what's going on with my camera with the blurriness. I don't know why it's going in and out of blurriness. But yeah, that is it for the articulation for her. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through the transformation for this guy. So the next mode that we're going to put him in is the gear walk mode. I'm not very good at transforming this thing, but I am going to try to power through this because I want to give an explanation on how it works. So if anybody does have this model kit and they need to refer back to a video, hopefully this can be informative. So this might be a long video. This might be a bit of a long video. So we are going to go ahead and unhook this piece first. So let's see if we can, what I'll do is I'll bring the camera down a little bit and get this piece out the way. So I'm not quite sure what we want to do first here. I guess we can do the feet first. So the feet hook here. So kind of want to pull them out. So they do pull out and extend like this. And you can see this is the thing that, so these pieces here, these little pieces here latch on to this right here. So I'll give you a better idea how that looks. So this folds down. So you want to fold this piece down. This kind of already did it, but you want to pull this down, pull this foot, this leg down. But these pieces slide into the ends of that. That's how you lock that in. So it'll slide into that. So take that down, fold it this way. Do the other side the same way. You can move this piece out the way, but slide that down. Pull that out, that'll loosen up the legs. As far as these parts, so this part, you can spread these like so. This isn't supposed to spread like that, so it might end up gluing that, so it's not supposed to do that. But once you spread these arms slash wings, we can then pull this piece down. I'll go ahead and tighten it back up. Pull this piece down, and then this piece can, so this piece is pegged in. Like once you pull it up, but you can, I'll take this out for now. You can pull this down and you want to fold this in like that. Then these pieces here will kind of hang. For now, we'll just kind of get these out of the way for now. But these actually, these can actually come down like this. You kind of want to face them this way. There is like a hinge. This will turn and then this will hinge. It's my finger that's making it blurry. For some reason, this keeps focusing on my finger. That's why it keeps getting blurry. But yeah, right here. So this piece turns like so. And then this hinge will hinge up and down like so. And then we have a piece that turns and hinges there as well. So I want to bring that down a little bit. Then we're going to spin this down, twist it like so. And so we kind of got that kind of set for now. These pieces, the way that mine is set, this is really tight on this side for whatever reason, but you can get this to spread out if you just work with it a little bit. I don't know why it doesn't want to do it right now. Try not to break it. There we go. So this can spread out just to give you some space. So now you can see kind of where I got some stickers placed. There's some stickers here. These gold pieces here are stickers. I might just do this because for some reason, I don't know why my camera is focusing on my hand so much. These pieces here are stickers, and then obviously these are stickers, and then these are stickers. Not great stickers. It does come with 2 sets of stickers, and I'll show you that in a minute. I guess I probably should have did the accessories already, but I'll show you that in a little bit. But these are just regular stickers. It also comes with a set of water decals, which will obviously look and stick better than these regular stickers. But in the directions, they were only giving me directions for these stickers. Like during the build, these are the only stickers that they told me to put on. So I don't know why. So anyway, these pieces will fold out like so. So you can fold these guns out like this. This will then come out, and this is on like a hinge, not really a hinge, but on like a joint, and it can come around like so. So you want to have that come around like that. Same way with this side, can come around like that. And then you kind of have a seat here. So then with the gear walk mode, you want to bring this down. You want to bring the foot up, like foot back like so. And then you want to, this foot will then slide out because it's on a railing here. You kind of got to play with it and pull it out as much as you can. Open this piece up. You want these to be opened up too, even though they flop and fall out really easily. And it is kind of a, I will admit, it's kind of a loose mess. But, and I think this, yeah, there we go. There we go. You want to hinge it from there. So this hinge, this joint will come all the way up like so. And then you want to bring this joint down. These pieces will get out the way. You want to move that down. And you want to get the leg something like that. And then you can do this side similar. Bring this piece down, bring this piece out. Get the hinge all the way at the top here to come back. And then get this hinge to come down like so. You kind of wanted like a digitigrade leg type thing going on there. Then these pieces, now everything is kind of flopping around here, right? And there's, from what I can see, there's not really anything that locks in, which is unfortunate. So it just kind of, if it does, maybe this piece here. So let me bring the camera up now that we're getting a little bit more tall here. So I know in the other mode, so this piece comes down in the other mode. It might apply here as well. Let me see if we can, because like I said, the directions aren't very good when it comes to this stuff. These in gear walk mode, these actually come out, so you don't really need that. Yeah, it's not really, doesn't really peg in there for gear walk mode. Anyway, this piece likes to fall out a lot. It's only in here on this peg system here, so this piece likes to fall out a lot. Coming around to the front, you want to pull this piece down. These two pieces disconnect like so, like that. This piece, you want to make sure you get it plugged. It'll peg in here. So this hole pegs into that right there. So it'll peg in there. This opens up a little bit. This is another piece I need to super glue down. I forgot. I should probably super glue this piece down as well, because that likes to fall off when I'm transforming it. But this comes up like so, and then you kind of gotta get something to pull this piece out. But this will come out like that, and you kind of got to get this, so this also shifts. So I don't know if you guys saw that, but this whole piece here will slide down to get this to come out a little bit more. Then you can close this back up. So you got a little gun there, and so you kind of got the mode here. Oh yeah, I remember now. This piece right here, this piece for gear walk mode, this piece locks it in. So you want to take this. Does this pull out for, trying to think this, well, before we do that, the handlebars come up like this and then unfold like so you can have that. And then I think, let me look at the directions real quick. Be right back. All right, so we're back here. I also had the legs not quite right. The legs need to come even more forward like that. And then down. No, that's not true. That's not right. No, they need to come back more and then down more. I'm tripping. Anyway, maybe I did have the legs correct. But yeah, they don't really go over. This is pretty much how it's supposed to sit as far as this piece is concerned. So I guess it's kind of stable. So none of this is stable, to be honest with you. Like, this is not a stable piece. Anyway. So moving these out the way, you can then move the foot rests down like this, like so. Get those out the way so they can come down like right here. So this piece, these pieces kind of comes in like this, and at this point you're just kind of winging it, to be honest with you. Oh, this is where the hinge is. I don't have this hinge down enough, so this actually needs to come down more. If I can get it to twist. Come on. Come on. Actually, does this twist? I know this comes down more. I know this can come down more. Okay, I was tripping. Okay, this leg was wrong. I did have this wrong. So this does, you can kind of do what you want with this piece. I'll show you with the other leg, but yeah, this is how you want the leg to sit. And it just popped off. Remember, it's a model kit, guys. This stuff kind of happens. So yeah, this is how the leg is supposed to look. So I had it wrong. The leg is supposed to come all the way around to the front. See, I got pieces falling off. All the way around to the front. And then it's supposed to be like this. So it's supposed to be like this. You can use this to get it back a little bit more. You can kind of finagle that, but this is how it's supposed to be. Then, yeah, these pieces, I'm telling you, they just don't stay. And then you want to pull this down. You want to get these pieces spread out. You want to get all these pieces spread out. Spread these pieces out that aren't falling off. Yeah, there we go. That is correct. That's how it, yeah. That's how it is. That's right. So now that these are sitting right, this then can peg into this hole here. So this can peg into this hole here. And so you can peg that into the hole. You can see it. This is the piece right here that pegs into that hole like that. And so that sits better now. There we go. Sorry about that. I haven't transformed it that much, so it is a bit of a learning curve for me too, but you know, you get to see the struggles that you might have with transforming this thing. Because ideally, if you do decide to display this, it's going to sit in probably one of these, in one of the other two modes, like the gear mode or the other mode that I'll show you in a little bit. But there you go. So then you have this. So we have this sitting kind of like this. You want it, so I didn't show you this, but this is a slider. So this is on the slider. You want to slide this up to about right there. To about right there in the middle. There's a locking point for this mode. So it locks in right there in about the middle of that arm. And then you want to take this one and slide this one as well. Let's kind of get it out some. Yeah, let's get it out some. So this will slide back up. It's a stopping point, not a locking point. There's a stopping point. And then you can kind of get this settled, kind of get this how you want it. These come back, these wings come back. You can twist these also. So you can move those around however you want. These don't really lock in, unfortunately. I thought that they would, but they don't really lock into anything. So depending on how the sturdiness of this is depending on how well you built it. I clearly didn't build it that well, so mine is a little crooked. But you can kind of have these sitting off to the side. These can rotate like this and like this, and then back and forth. They're on the hinge, back and forth, like so. Now in this gear walk mode, it can actually stand on its own. So that's pretty cool. You don't really need a stand for the gear walk mode for the most part. If you just kind of get it forward a little bit, you can, maybe not. Now that I say that, I wonder if, let's see if we move this piece. Let me move this piece out the way real quick. Move this out the way, move this out the way. I wonder if I move this down, can I get it to lock into that hole? Nah, it doesn't look like it. Thought maybe you can get it to slide into that hole, but I don't think you can. So yeah, let's move these pieces. Now, these pieces can go back on there. These landing pieces, you can put these back on there. I thought they weren't supposed to go on there, but these actually do go back on there. You might just want to remove them during the transformation just to make things easier. I think I have that on wrong. Yeah, I do have that on wrong. This thing is a bit of a pain in the ass to transform. At least for me, it is. Is that right? No, that's not right either. Maybe like this. Yeah, I think it's like this. Yeah, there you go. Where is the other piece? So you can put these back on there, like so. So you got that. You got those back on there. But that is supposed to peg into there. Now the thing is, if you can get these legs to if you can get this piece to swing forward, you can aim these legs a little bit more forward. And I'm not quite sure why they won't go more forward. Yeah, they're definitely kind of locked into that spot. Yeah, they're kind of locked into that spot, I guess. So, but yeah, this is basically the gear walk mode. And it's a pretty decent mode. It's a pretty decent mode. Like, it has its flaws, obviously. I mean, it's a model kit, so you're gonna have some shakiness as you move it, you know. But for the most part, I think it kind of achieves what it's trying to do. You know, you might want to glue these pieces together. I might end up doing that because these pieces like to spread apart during the transformation. Ideally, these pieces are supposed to, there's supposed to be a spot in here that locks. You can see where these little, I guess, locking points are. They're supposed to lock in at a certain spots, but it doesn't really work all that well. So it is what it is on that. But I guess putting putting those landing gear back in kind of helps this stabilize. But you can move these kind of forward a little bit there. It is, at this point, you just kind of do what you want to do with it. These can move all around. I showed you what these arms are like. The legs can move back, not so much forward, but back. I kind of gave you an idea what these knees do. This piece can hinge like an ankle rocker. At least I thought it could. Let me try this one. Oh, maybe not. It can go up and down though. So it can move up and barely not down, just up. Move this piece out of the way. And you can set her up on this. It is a pain in the ass to get her to sit on this. I'm gonna be honest with you. It is a bit of a pain in the ass to get her to sit right on this thing. Actually, those landing strips are actually helping quite a bit. Those landing pieces. So yeah, you definitely want to keep those landing pieces in there. It does keep this thing a little bit more stable. It does keep it a bit more stable. So let's see if we can kind of get her on there. You know what? I'll actually do this off camera because you guys don't need to see me struggle with getting her to sit on this thing properly. So I'll be right back and you'll see how she looks sitting on it. All right, and here she is on the gear walk mode. Now it's most likely this is the mode I'm probably gonna have her displayed in, because this is just the easier mode to deal with, and you'll see when we get to the other mode. But yeah, this mode is just easier to deal with. She can actually sit on it and it can hold its own balance. It is a little rickety rockety, but she sits on it well enough where you can see her feet aren't quite on the foot pedals, but I mean, it's good enough. Yeah, this mode is pretty cool. Once you get past all the fiddliness of it, and I actually got this to get straightened out. I just had to push the peg back in a little bit more. The peg was a little loose, and once I pushed the peg in, it tightened up, so it's staying up now. But yeah, this is what she looks like riding the gear walk mode, and I think it looks pretty good. I think for a very, I don't know how complicated what a complicated model kit is. This one, this is obviously not like a perfect grade Gundam or anything like that, but I would say this is probably, I would say maybe masterpiece or a master grade level. It's definitely higher than like a regular grade or a high grade. No, I would say high grade. It's not a perfect, or it's not a regular grade. It's definitely better than a regular grade or like the standard grade Gundams. So yeah, this looks pretty freaking good, man. I like the way this looks, and I guarantee once the stickers and stuff are on there, it'll look even better. See, now the hinge joint is working now. See, so just to show you that there is a hinge joint in those toes. I don't know why they weren't working earlier, but yeah, there's a hinge joint in those toes. Not that it really matters. You can, like, if you move these pieces out like this, you can get it to lean a little bit more forward if it seems to be leaning back too much, and then push these pieces back in, and it'll kind of give you a little bit more stabilization the more that you want to push it forward, and then you can probably get it to lean on these toes a little bit better so it won't fall back. But you got the toe hinge, you got the what are these, heel spurs or whatever? These pieces come down too. I didn't have these pieces down there either, but those pieces come down too. It's a lot to this thing, man. So I might forget some things, but hopefully this will help people out who might be struggling with how this thing actually works, and they need some help, that are English speaking and they can't understand, or they didn't get how other people were putting it together. These pieces, so this piece, I will tell you this, sliding this in and out will move this piece out. This piece does lock this in because it slides into this little slit here. There's some like pegs, I guess you can say, that slide into this, and it does lock that in. So you do want to make sure that that is in there, because it does lock that part in. So, but yeah, that's it for the gear walk mode. I really like this mode. It's stable, and she looks good riding it. She really does. But let's go ahead and start transforming it into the destroyed mode, which is kind of like a robot mode. So let's do that. All right, so real quick before I transform him into the robot mode, this piece was supposed to come up like this. I didn't do it, but this is supposed to come up like this in that mode. So I'm going to leave that right there because it's supposed to stay there for robot mode too. But I forgot to rotate this piece up because there are some like stickers and stuff that go right there. So all of this stays where it's supposed to be. You can, I think on the box it tells you to push this gun back in, but you can leave it out if you want to. But I think it tells you to push that back in. But anyway, as far as the destroyed mode goes, basically what you want to do is straighten these legs out. You can move these up a little bit. So in the destroyed mode, destroyed, like it's like dest like D-E-S-T, and roid, R-O-I-D. So it's kind of like Mondroid and something like that, whatever, I don't care. So you want to move this piece up now. I don't know why on my copy that this gets stuck. There's something going on in there that makes this stick when I'm doing this. And what helps me, and it might be because of this piece, so what helps me is I move that down a little bit and then it comes up. But you kind of want to put it back in what it looked like when it was in the shuttle mode. And this just popped out. Of course it did. We'll leave that out for right now. I'll deal with that later. Then you want to do the same to this leg. So you want to straighten it out. Kind of get these out of the way for right now. Straighten it out. Then slide this up. Everything will lock in. It will lock in. That's what pieces like gets in the way in this leg for some reason. Here we go. So we'll get that like that. Then you want to take the legs and come fully forward like so. All of this is pretty much going to sit the same. The arms, we'll deal with that in a second. This slides out, so this whole seat piece will slide out like so, and then it will tilt down. And I want to put this piece back on there. Where did this pop off at? Let me find this real quick. All right. Okay. So yeah, I might end up super gluing that, but anyway, this piece. So this piece, you want this to come down because you don't want that in the way. This is then going to come down. You want to slide these out a little bit. This is going to slowly. So there's a peg here. So there's a peg here, and then there's the hole there. That is going to come down and peg into that hole. So you kind of need to mess with it a little bit. Even maybe get these pieces out of the way. See if we can get that to peg in. Yeah. Oh, actually these pieces, I take that back. These pieces, so this landing strip piece, you want to bring this down and out like this and rotate these around like so. So there's a rotating piece. So you want to rotate these and get these out the way like that. These can just kind of sit like that. They can just kind of sit like that. And then, yeah, you want these to be all the way back. Actually, we want these back a little bit more than that. Yeah, I think I ended up taking these pieces off and then switching them around when I first did this, because these pieces do get in the way. So if you want to leave them on, you can, but they do tend to get in the way. And then you can easily peg that back in. This just kind of sits wherever it wants to sit. It's just kind of like the tail. And then with the arms, what you want to do is you want to rotate them. You want to bring them down, then rotate them around like so. And then rotate them around like so. So then you have proper arms. Let me see if I can move this out the way. If I can get this, I'm trying to get them even. Just kind of got to mess with them. There we go. That's a little bit more even. Like I said, that piece likes to fall out a lot. Oh, you do want to move these the shoulders forward too a little bit more. These shoulders do come up a little bit more forward, so you can get these arms back a little bit more, like so. And then you can move this back if you want the arms to be really long. You can get that back. Maybe it'll give you a little bit more forward leaning. This piece can pop back in, a little tail. I don't know why it popped out. So you can move the arms there. And then you take the fingers, and these fingers come out like this. So that's what these pieces were for earlier. That's why I made sure I wanted to super glue that, because these are his hands in the destroy mode. So you can kind of maneuver that however you want. These still stay back like that, and that's pretty much it for the destroy mode. It's not the greatest connection down here, like that doesn't peg in all that great, so that's unfortunate. Now I'll show you here in a minute what I do with the and these leg pieces here. You can move these out to kind of get these knee joints to maneuver how you want them to. Like these pieces still move in and out, so you can move this stuff around in order to get that knee joint to work. Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that to like stay in there, because you are going to need that leverage to get this thing to stand, and it won't stand. It won't stand. It won't stand on its own. I'm telling you that right now. Like these feet it's just way too back heavy for this mode. It really is. Because ideally what you want is it to stand like this. You bring these feet pieces all the way out, and then ideally you kind of want it to stand like this, but it's too weak. It's too weak to hold these pieces. Like I said, these locking points don't work, at least not on mine, at least not for me. I would say that these locking points don't work. If you try to lock this in, you might be able to get it to, yeah, see, even that, you can't really get it to lock. So this is the mode here. Everything is in where it's supposed to be, except of course this. Because like I said, that doesn't really fit in there properly. But yeah, ideally, this is kind of how you want things to sit. And actually, I'll move this up a little bit more. Move these pieces up a little bit more. And maybe I can get this to sit like it's supposed to. Maybe, baby. Yeah, this is a long video. I'm sorry. This is a very, very long video. Yeah, there we go. So, I kind of got it sitting forward. Hey, there we go. Hey, oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at me. Now, when I sit her on it, it's going to be a whole different story. Now, obviously, we're missing something, right? We're missing something here, and we're missing the head. So this is where all the accessories come in, and I forgot to show that earlier. So let me do that really quick, and I will show you her accessories first. So she comes with an extra face that already has the tempo on there, but then she comes with 2 blank faces. She comes with a plethora of hands. I'll show you like one at a time. Let's do this. My camera doesn't like it when I do that. Okay, she comes with the rocker finger hands. She comes with maybe like a salute hand. She comes with, maybe this might even grip the handlebars better, hands. She comes with just some kind of posing spread open hands. She comes with pointer finger. Actually, this could also hold the handlebars, but they're kind of pointing. And she comes with fist hands, and that is it. So those are the hands that she comes with. She does come with some extra tails, like the brown tails. She comes with a brown bow instead of an orange bow. I don't know if I showed you that on the back, but there's the orange bow. So if you want a brown tail and brown tails and brown bow, you can have that. And then she comes with some extra legs. So if you don't want the white legs, you can have just plain bare legs. So I didn't use those, but those are available if you need them. I don't know what these pieces are for. So that is that. And then for the destroyed mode, he does come with a head. So you do want to use that head for the destroyed mode. So we'll zoom out here again. And what you do is you want to pop this piece off. And it's a little tough to pop that off. I don't want to scratch it. So pop that off. Oops. Pop that off. You can pop this piece out as well. Like that. And we can put the head on. And the head does have, it is on like a little ball hinge, or ball peg, I should say. So it does have a little movement up and down, not really side to side, but up and down. And so bam, there you are with the head. And here he is in the, here it is in the destroyed mode. Get this to sit right, push that in, get that to sit right, there we go. And again, you can do whatever you want to with these guns. However you want these guns to sit, they will sit. You got the hands. It has all the same articulation, maybe even a little bit more than it did in the gear walk mode. You can come in and out like so. The shoulders obviously on the hinge, so this can go, these can go up and down and pop out. But they just pop back in. But yeah, you can go up and down, so you can kind of do whatever you want with these for the most part without them popping apart. You just got to be a lot more gentle than what I am being because I don't really know how to be gentle with model kits, which is probably why I shouldn't make them. But I do enjoy the art of putting them together, so that is the thing that I do enjoy. But yeah, this is a pretty solid mode if you want to use it. You just gotta find a way to get him to stand properly, and it is possible. You can get him to stand on his own, but I wouldn't suggest it. Now there is a tab under his crotch here, a hole under his crotch that you can put a stand, and that's what I would recommend. Now I will say this hole is very tight, giggity. And I have broken two stands already dealing with this. So once you get him up there and he's stable, don't keep moving him around because you will snap the pegs on those stands with this guy. Because I have done it twice now, and I'm probably already stressing this one out as we speak. So I would definitely suggest, if you're going to leave him in this mode, that you put him on the stand. And so yeah, this mode looks pretty solid. And with the stand, I might leave him in this mode too. Obviously I'll have to keep him on the stand up in the air like this, you know, maybe he could be flying or something like that. So, or if you want to put him on the ground, you can have him on the ground. You just got to make sure that you got the stand to where you like it and stabilize him. And I don't know why I keep calling it the he. It can maneuver on its own. Not maneuver on its own. It can stand properly like that, kind of like that. It's not quite straight, and it's going to drive me crazy, which is why I keep breaking stands, because when I put him on a stand like this, it doesn't sit straight, and it drives me freaking crazy. Anyway, let's go ahead and I will show you how she looks on the mech in this mode. All right, and here she is on right here. Here she is riding the destroyed mode. So this is pretty much how this looks. Again, this tail piece, you can do whatever you want to with it. Now, the way that I put her on here, and they don't tell you to, at least I didn't see it in the directions. In the directions, they still want you to put her feet on this, but on the footrest. But I don't think that works very well, in my opinion. It's just a pain in the ass to get her to stand on these and then hold on to the handlebars. So what I do is I just kind of stick them up under her, in between her knee joints, and she sits on it way better that way. She's way more stable that way, and it doesn't take as long to set her up on it like that. But yeah, I think this is the best. I personally like this mode the most. It just keeps breaking all my stands, and so hopefully this stand will last for now. But yeah, this looks really, really cool. I do like the way that this looks. I am questioning whether or not I am going to put all the stickers on. I'll show you those really quick. I probably should have did that in the accessories, but bear with me. This is the first time I'm reviewing a model kit. So if I continue to review these, the reviews will get better. Will slowly get better. But these are just the regular sticker sheet, and I used some of them. I used some of the stickers, but that's the regular sticker sheet. And then you have the water slide decal stickers. Now these will look really good if I decide to put them on. They're just so much of a pain in the ass to put on. I have done this a lot on kits, and it is just annoying to do it. It's very time consuming, and lining things up and everything is just ugh. But it would look so much better with these on it, so I might end up doing it. It's going to be much easier to do it in the shuttle mode, and the issue is I don't know if I want to put it back in the shuttle mode to put these stickers on. I'd rather just keep it in this mode and display it. So it's a good chance I won't put the stickers on there. But yeah, this is the destroyed mode, and I think it looks really, really cool. You do got the transparent red, like I guess face here. You can't really see it that well, but yeah, that is a transparent piece very similar to this. And you got her sitting on there. You can see some of the stickers there. They are already peeling off. I feel like if I just put like a clear coat over it, if I put all these regular stickers on there and then put that clear coat over it, then those stickers will sit better. But these are stickers too, like these black pieces here, these black ribbon or black whatever you want to call this part. These are stickers too, and they are coming up. They are peeling off. So, and I don't think they have water slide decals for these specific ones, so those are gonna have to try to stay on there. But yeah, it's a pretty neat mode. I mean, it's the fact that this can transform. This is a triple changer is pretty dope. But I think it's just a triple changer by the nature of how it's built. I feel like the gear walk mode is what it is. I feel like this mode and the shuttle mode are probably the two best modes, and the gear walk mode is just a mode that is in between that and this mode, and it just so happens to be able to do that mode on its way to transforming into this mode. So I would say this is probably like the ultimate mode. But yeah, these fingers do move in, they do hinge in and out. You can hinge them up and down like that. So just got to be careful. Like I said, I did snap this one over here, so I need that one. I need to be careful with. Hopefully this doesn't take a shelf dive. I'm still trying to figure out where I want to put all my model kits, because I've basically taken them off the shelves because I have so much other stuff that I'd rather display than the model kits, but I'm still putting them together. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for the review. I mean, we're about to be an hour in. Hopefully the editing that I do can eliminate some of the time that I put into shooting this. But I promise, if I do more model kits, I will be better at reviewing them. I'm sure most of them will not have like the retransformations that I actually want to show off, just for people that, you know, might have trouble transforming this guy. I hopefully gave you an idea of the right way to do it. Again, with this transformation, the peg, you do want to kind of get it moved out. So the more you move this guy forward, the more you want to pull this out to peg this in, because then at that point, all the weight is going into the peg. Once you sit her on it, most of the weight is going into that peg, and therefore, even when he's leaning back, that peg is holding him up. So it'll stay in there. It'll stay in there a lot more sturdier. I don't know. Can I take this out without messing anything up? Yeah. Yeah. See, I'm already stressing out that. I'm already stressing that peg out. Look at that. That's a whole new one. But yeah. See, he still won't stand with her on it, but you do want to see even if you lean it a little bit forward, it's not quite gonna. Yeah, once you put her on there, like it's not gonna be able to hold the weight. So you definitely want to use a stand when posing her on him or on the mech like this. But yeah, I'm already stressing it out. So hopefully I don't break this one. It's not like I run out of them. I have like 1,000 of these damn things. But let's try to put this back on there. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, I think you know, if you're a model kit person, you kind of already know how stuff like this goes. The pain of putting model kits together and having them sit perfect, and the tediousness of putting on stickers and stuff like that. So it is what it is, but I enjoy it, and I like this. I do like this mech and this little variable fighting girl. So anyway, that is it for the review. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and until next time, peace.